Hello, my dear students. Let's get started with class 10th, subject science, lesson number 1, chemical reactions and equations. Students, whenever we start something, we should always have a target in our mind. So first of all, let us define the learning objectives of this video. That means after the completion of this video, we will be able to understand the following topics. That means we will become well versed with these topics. We will be able to define a chemical reaction, explain the symbolic representation of a chemical reaction, which we call chemical equation, identify the components of the chemical reaction, explain how to write a chemical equation. Last of all, we should be able to balance a chemical equation. Let us move on to our first objective, that is to know the definition of a chemical reaction. A chemical reaction is a chemical change in which two or more substances react to form new substances with entirely new properties. See here, hydrogen and chlorine have combined to form hydrogen chloride. But the most important thing which you should keep in your mind is that during a chemical reaction, atoms of one element do not change. Atoms of one element do not change into those of another element. Only a rearrangement of atoms takes place in a chemical reaction. The second objective of our lesson is the components of a chemical reaction. The components means the parts. The chemical reaction is having two parts. First part is reactants. The reactants are the substances which take part in a chemical reaction. They are written on the left hand side of the arrow. These are here A and B are the reactants. So what are reactants? The substances which take part in a chemical reaction are called reactants. For example, A and B are reactants. What are products? These substances, the new substances produced as a result of chemical reaction are known as products. Here the products are C and D, and the products are written on the right hand side of the arrow. And the arrow, the direction of the arrow points the direction of the chemical reaction. Now, how would you come to know that a chemical reaction has taken place? We can come to know that a chemical reaction has taken place only if we are able to observe some observable behaviors. So such observable things are called as characteristics of a chemical reaction. There are few characteristics such as change of state. You know, the physical states of matter is solid, liquid and gas. So sometimes if the reactant is in solid state and suddenly we observe that the solid state has changed into liquid and some gas is also coming out. So that is taken to be one characteristic of a chemical reaction, that yes, a chemical reaction has taken place because a change in state has occurred. Sometimes we see some bubbles of gases coming out from the material when we mix two substances. That is another characteristic, and that is evolution of gas. And sometimes when we mix two or three things together, then we suddenly observe a solid form of substance formed in the test tube. That solid insoluble substance is known as precipitate. So this is the third characteristic of a chemical reaction, that is formation of precipitate. Then sometimes we also observe a change in color of the substance. For example, if we take copper sulfate, which is blue in color, and put zinc granules or zinc powder in the copper sulfate containing test tube, suddenly on its own the color of copper sulfate changes to colorless. The blue color changes to colorless. So that certainly is a hint or a proof that yes, a chemical change has certainly taken place. Then another characteristic is change in temperature. So what happens sometimes when we mix two substances, the test tube in which we have mixed those substances, it starts feeling hot, or suddenly you start feeling the temperature has come down. So if you mix two substances and suddenly your hands let us know that some change has taken place, that is again a confirmation telling you that yes, a chemical reaction has taken place. Let us now study the characteristics of a chemical reaction with few more examples. First, we had studied the characteristic of a chemical change was change in state or change in physical state. Then some reactions are characterized by change in state. Best example is burning of candle wax. The combustion reaction of candle wax is characterized by a change in state. How? That its state changes from solid to liquid, that can be physical. But then the vapors also burn, which is a chemical change, because the wax is a solid, but when it gets heated, it changes its state and becomes gaseous, and the vapors go into the atmosphere and carbon dioxide gas is produced. The second characteristics of a chemical reaction is evolution of gas. That means if we mix two or more substances and after a few seconds or after some time we start observing some bubbles of gases coming out from the test tube, that also tells us that yes, a chemical reaction is taking place. This is the most common example which we do in our schools. That is, we take a test tube or a round bottom flask, and in that we put few zinc granules. After that, we put in dilute hydrochloric acid inside it, or dilute sulfuric acid also can be used. You can use either of the two acids. So, when you add sulfuric acid or hydrochloric acid in this round bottom flask, you start observing few bubbles coming out, and that are the bubbles of hydrogen gas. And you know very well, you must have done how to check the presence of hydrogen gas. We bring a burning splinter at the mouth of the test tube, and if it starts burning with a pop sound, that is a sure sign of hydrogen gas coming out from the test tube. So this is another characteristic of a chemical reaction, that is evolution of gas. It can be any gas. It can be hydrogen gas, carbon dioxide gas, oxygen gas. But if after a chemical reaction some gas is evolved, that shows yes, a chemical reaction has taken place. The third characteristic of a chemical reaction is formation of precipitate. Now, what is a precipitate? A precipitate is an insoluble substance that is formed when a chemical reaction takes place. So, any soluble material which is formed as a result of chemical reaction is known as a precipitate. So, such reactions in which precipitates are formed are also called as precipitation reactions. One such example is there in your NCERT book, that is when potassium iodide solution is added to the solution of lead nitrate, then a yellow precipitate of lead iodide is formed, and this is another characteristic of a chemical reaction, that is formation of precipitate. Some chemical reactions are categorized by a change in color. So we come to another characteristic of a chemical reaction, and that is change in color. The most common example is when citric acid is added to purple colored potassium permanganate, the solution becomes colorless. Students, you can easily do this activity at your home, because these days all the homes are having some type of chemical for washing their vegetables and fruits before using them. We generally have potassium permanganate crystals which are purple in color. So you just take a glass tumbler and put 2-3 crystals of potassium permanganate in that and put water and make a solution. The solution will become purple in color like this. Then you just take lemon juice, take lemon from the fridge and put lemon juice in this solution, and you will observe that the purple color just disappears. So that means that is the same reaction, that is citric acid and potassium permanganate. When they mix, then the purple color of potassium permanganate is decolorized and it becomes colorless. Another very common characteristic of chemical reaction is change in temperature. Some chemical reactions are characterized by change in temperature. For example, when we take a bucket and put quicklime or tuna in a bucket and then we put water in it before whitewashing our house, then the person who is going to do the whitewashing of the house never mixes it with his hand. He takes some wooden or other material for mixing the lime in water because it produces a lot of heat. So that is a change in temperature. If we mix two or more substances and the mixture becomes very hot or cold, that means there is a change in temperature. And that is another characteristic of a chemical reaction. So, on the basis of what type of temperature change has taken place, we can classify the chemical reactions into two types. One is exothermic, another is endothermic. Exo, the word exo has been taken from exit. Exit means coming out. Therm, the word therm is taken from heat. So any reaction in which heat is given out or heat is produced are called as exothermic reactions. The reactions in which heat is produced are known as exothermic reactions. Just now we have seen that common example, and here also you can see calcium oxide is mixed with water to produce calcium hydroxide, and during this reaction automatically the container becomes very hot. That means the heat is produced due to the occurrence of this reaction, and those reactions are called as exothermic reactions. The opposite of it is endothermic. Endo means in, taking in. So the reaction in which the heat is absorbed are known as endothermic reactions. For example, if we take calcium carbonate and we just heat it, that means we are giving heat and calcium carbonate is absorbing the heat and it is producing two different substances, that is calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So the reactions in which the heat is absorbed, those reactions are called as endothermic reactions. I would like to again remind you that the name of our lesson is Chemical Reactions and Equations. Till now we have studied about chemical reaction, that a chemical reaction is a chemical change in which two or more substances react to form a new substance with entirely new properties. After that we studied that the components of a chemical reaction are reactants and products. After that we studied the characteristics of a chemical reaction. That means how do we come to know that a chemical reaction or a chemical change has taken place? Just for example, by seeing the change in state, evolution of gas, formation of precipitate, change in color or change in temperature. Now, when we start writing a chemical reaction, for example, if we say that sodium combines with chlorine to produce sodium chloride, this is a very long sentence. So when we want to write about the chemical reactions, we will have to keep on speaking such long sentences. So we have found out a way of representing this chemical reaction into smaller form. That representation is called as chemical equation. So, what is a chemical equation? The method of representing a chemical reaction with the help of symbols and formulae of the substances involved in it, that is called as a chemical equation. Now, that means in simple sentences हम क्या कह सकते हैं कि chemical equation, what is the simplest definition of a chemical equation? The symbolic representation of the chemical reaction is called as chemical equation. Dear students, let us now proceed a little further ahead and see what is the meaning of a balanced chemical equation and an unbalanced chemical equation. Just pause here and try to remember what you studied in class 9th about the law of conservation of mass. That is, during a chemical reaction, the mass can neither be created nor can be destroyed. So following that, the equation, whatever chemical reaction takes place, whatever chemical equation is written to follow or to prove the law of conservation of mass to be correct, an equation has to be balanced only. Let us see whether this equation is balanced. How do we find out whether it is balanced or not? Let us see what all atoms are there on the reactant side and on the product side. On the reactant side, we have zinc, hydrogen, sulfur, oxygen. Similarly, on the product side also we have zinc, sulfur, oxygen and hydrogen. Let us see the number of atoms of zinc on the reactant side, 1. Number of zinc atoms on the product side, 1. Number of hydrogen atoms on the reactant side, 2. Hydrogen, 2. Number of sulfur atoms, 1, because when nothing is written at the subscript, that means it is 1. So similarly, on the product side also, sulfur atoms are 1. The oxygen atoms on the reactant side are 4, and similarly the number of oxygen atoms on the product side also is 4. That means this equation is balanced. So what is a balanced chemical equation? A balanced chemical equation has an equal number of atoms of different elements in the reactants as well as in the products. Unbalanced chemical equation, for that we see here an unbalanced chemical equation has an unequal number of atoms of different elements in the reactants and in the products. See here, the number of hydrogen atoms on the reactant side are 2. The number of hydrogen atoms on the product side are also 2. The number of oxygen atoms on the reactant side is 2. The number of atoms on the product side is only 1. So though hydrogen atoms are balanced on the reactant as well as on the product side, but the number of oxygen atoms is different. It is not balanced. On the reactant side it is 2 and on the product side it is 1. So that is why this equation is called as an unbalanced chemical equation. Solids are written as S, bracket you put the parenthesis, brackets, and in between you write small s. Liquids are denoted by L, gas as G, aqueous solution means the chemical compounds are mixed with water. The aqueous solution A, Q. If gas is produced, then you can put arrow upwards. Precipitate formed, arrow pointing downwards, and the direction of the reaction is given by arrow. On this arrow shows the direction of the reaction. The arrow is pointing towards the products, and this side we write the reactants and this side we write the products. Now I am going to compile just once again what we have just now understood in detail. How do we write a complete balanced chemical equation? Step 1, we should start with the chemical reaction. Chemical reaction, we know that chemical reaction is a very long sentence, whatever chemical change has taken place. To make it little shorter, we squeeze it and we change it into word equation. What do we do in word equation? Write the chemical reaction in the form of a word equation, keeping the reactants on the left and products on the right side of the arrow. Then from word equation we squeeze it little more. That is skeletal equation. What do we do there? In place of the words, we replace the words with the symbols and formulae of the reactants and the products in the word equation. After that, we see whether the number of atoms of different elements are same on the reactant side as well as on the product side. Then that becomes a balanced chemical equation. After that, if asked in the question, or if you want to make the equation more informative, then you can write the physical symbols, symbols of the physical states by indicating the symbols of the physical state. Dear students, now we have to test what all we have studied till now, and now is the time to apply what all we have understood in this lesson and in this video. Application part is the most important, that we will do by taking a simple example. So, what was the name of our lesson? Chemical reactions and equations. We studied the meaning of a chemical reaction. Then we studied the components of a chemical reaction, that is reactants and products. Then we moved on to study about a chemical equation, which is the symbolic representation of a chemical reaction. Now, by taking a very simple example, we will be trying to write a full-fledged chemical equation. Let us see how we are able to do that so that you can also do it in your future endeavors. Let us take a very simple example of a chemical reaction. What is that chemical reaction? That is magnesium ribbon. Magnesium ribbon burns in air, burns in air to produce magnesium oxide. This is a chemical reaction. Such a long sentence which says magnesium ribbon burns in air to produce magnesium oxide. Then this is a chemical reaction. A chemical change has taken place. We now have to find out the reactants and the products in this chemical reaction. Then we will be able to proceed to the next step, and the next step is writing a word equation. So what we have to do now is we have to find the various reactants and products here. How do we find that out? We will find it. Magnesium ribbon burns in air. That means magnesium, when we combine air with magnesium, that means what are the reactants which combine with each other? That is, one is magnesium ribbon and burns in air. Which component of air helps in burning? That is oxygen. So we have found two reactants here. What are those reactants? Magnesium and air means oxygen. Then the word written is to produce. To produce gives us a hint that the products are on the right side. So what the to produce means, we will put that arrow. And what are the product? The product is magnesium oxide. So this gives us a hint, and we will write the word equation by writing the words now, leaving other things aside. What are those words of reactants and products? On the reactant side, we will put magnesium. Burns in air means magnesium combines with the which component of air? Oxygen. Magnesium plus oxygen. To produce, in place of to produce, we will put the arrow. What does it produce? It produces magnesium oxide. This we have written here. This has become the word equation. You need not jump directly to the chemical equation in the starting. In the end, when you will practice a lot, then you will easily be able to jump to the next steps. So we have written a word equation. From a chemical equation, we have written a word equation. From the word equation, we shall move on to skeletal chemical equation. Skeletal chemical equation will be, how will you write that? You will write their symbols, which you have already studied in class 9. What is the symbol of magnesium? We will write here. Symbol of magnesium is Mg. And plus oxygen is O2. Then same arrow which shows us the direction the chemical reaction is proceeding in this direction, and the product is magnesium oxide. In class 9th you have studied how to make the chemical formula. Magnesium has got valency 2, oxygen has also got valency 2, 2 and 2 will get cut, and the symbol of magnesium oxide becomes MgO. So simply we have just written the symbols and formulae of the chemical substances, and it has simply become skeletal equation. The chemical reaction was so big and it has squeezed to word equation, which has now changed to skeletal equation. Now we have to remember our law of conservation of mass, and the what does it says? It says that the number of atoms of the various elements on the reactant side has to be equal to the number of atoms of those same elements on the product side as well. So we will try to balance this equation. How are we going to do it? That is also very simple. You just write this equation first here, because now we are going to balance this equation. How will we balance it? Just find a very simple method. For that, you just write a box. You can just, for your convenience, you can just write a simple box like this. On this side, you will write the name of the reactants. Here, reactants, left hand side, and the number of the elements, atoms of the elements on the product side on the right hand side. Let us see what are the reactants, what are the elements: magnesium and oxygen. Similarly, in front of magnesium, for the product side also, what all are there? Magnesium and oxygen. Now we will put the number of atoms in front of them. How many magnesium atoms? 1. Because if nothing is written here at the subscript, that means you have to take it understood to be 1. This also will be taken as 1. This also will be taken. You need not write it, but it is understood. So magnesium atoms are 1. How many oxygen atoms? 2. How many magnesium atoms on the product side? 1. How many oxygen atoms on the product side? 1. Now magnesium and magnesium are balanced on the reactant as well as product side, but oxygen here is 2 on the reactant side. On the product side, the number of oxygen atoms is only 1. So we have to make this balanced, and already you know the rules that you have. Just it is better that you put these entities into a box, and remember that you cannot write anything inside it. You cannot write anything on the top or here because these are compounds. At the most, what you can do, you can just write any number at the coefficient. So to make oxygen 2, if we multiply any number in the coefficient with 1, that we can get that number. If we write 2 here, 2 will be multiplied with 1, and 1 into 2, this will become 2. So, but you have written 2 here, that means this 2 will be multiplied with this magnesium also. So 1 into 2, magnesium also has become 2. We were trying to balance oxygen, in turn we have disturbed magnesium also. But this is called as hit and trial method of balancing of chemical equation. So what we can do, let us see what we can do for magnesium. If we write 2 in the coefficient, then let us see, we will multiply this 2 with 1. So 1 into 2 will also become 2. Let us check. Here magnesium on the reactant side is 2, magnesium on the product side 2. Oxygen on the reactant side 2, oxygen on the product side is also 2. That means now this equation is balanced. So we have achieved a lot. We have made this equation starting from the chemical reaction, we have made this equation as balanced chemical equation. Now, sometimes in the exams it is asked, but sometimes if you want to make it more informative, so what you can do, and if it is asked in the exams, write the physical symbols also. That is also not difficult at all for you now. What will you do? You will just write this equation and write the physical symbols. Let us copy down the balanced chemical equation. It was like this: 2Mg plus O2 gives 2MgO. Now, you know very well that magnesium is found in solid state. Magnesium is found in solid state. So, what will you write for its symbol? Small s in capital, in the bracket, sorry. Then oxygen is in the form of gas and magnesium oxide is also solid, so you will write S. This is how you will be able to write a proper full-fledged balanced chemical equation starting from the chemical reaction like this. So like this we have achieved our learning objectives. From the name of the lesson, chemical reactions, we have been able to write a full-fledged chemical equation. Step 1, writing chemical equation. Step 2, writing word equation. Step 3, skeletal equation. Step 4, balanced chemical equation. And step 5, in the end, balanced chemical equation with state symbols. I hope this video has helped you to understand the basics of the topic chemical reactions and equations.